YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji, and we back on TV. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe. And I ain't gonna lie, I have been slacking a little bit in regards to the rest of the reviews, but there's no true fault of mine. I'm just been trying to turn things up for the Patreon, man. So we getting a lot of content out that way. I'm finding more movies and TV shows to watch. We about to start cranking the content out consistently, getting that stuff loaded up for y'all. But anyways, we can get into it, man. Them boys was in Saudi Arabia, Night of Champions, PLEs. I'm trying to get that old spark back, man. Because if y'all didn't know, I started watching wrestling again heavily as we led up into WrestleMania 40. But following WrestleMania 40, I don't really know what we've been getting. And the year 2025 has been lackluster, to say the very least, even though we probably had the most stars we've had in a long time. So they started off the show, of course, with Randy Orton, the Viper, and Cody Rhodes, the quarterback. These guys got into it in a match that I don't think anyone really asked for, at least under these pretenses. And if I could say anything about this, it seems as if everything is starting to become redundant. Not nostalgic, redundant. We're starting to see the same storylines, same things play out. A lot of people were excited about a potential Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes match. I mean, if you think about it, in WWE storyline, Randy Orton was one of the first people to bring Cody Rhodes to the big league, put him under his arm. Now this is a full circle moment where they're both at the top. So a lot of people were excited about what this match potentially could be. But here's again where we start to see strangeness and redundancy in the booking. We had two faces going at it. Two beloved faces. There's no real winner here. I understand this is for a world title match that's probably going to be held at SummerSlam. But what are we getting with these two guys going at it? What are we getting out of this as fans? We've all been excited about a potential Randy Orton heel turn. We haven't got that yet. We've been excited about a Cody Rhodes heel turn. We haven't got that yet. So we're really just having two faces going at it. For what? The match is what it was. I mean, Cody Rhodes never really gets a bad match, but if you had to ask me, there's two old heads going at it, and I mean, Randy Orton is huge at this point, but it's like he just shows up, clocks in, gets his moves off, real 5 moves of doom, and he's ready to go home. In this, Randy Orton's ribs are hurt, so Cody does target the ribs. There was a couple cool spots that they had. Again, it wasn't really nothing memorable for me in totality. We did have Cody Rhodes kick out of a crazy RKO counter. And if you had to ask me, I'm starting to get a little bit tired of that. I feel like these guys are spamming their finishing moves, and it's almost like we're expecting them to kick out. And I'm not going to lie. Like, there was matches that I think had a lot of gravitas, a lot of story going into the match, and you could see the storylines play out in the midst of the match. Like, if I watch matches of Stone Cold versus The Rock, Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, like, when these dudes hit finishers, it took the air out of the building. So if you kicked out, it was like, whoa, no way this dude just kicked out. Now these dudes just hit a finisher in the first 5 seconds of the match, somebody kicks out. It's like, what are we doing? What? How is that your finisher? You ain't finishing anybody. So if every match we've seen everybody kick out of finishers, that's one of my critiques. I personally don't like it. But at least the one good thing I can say we got out of this match is something that I alleged. Something that I was pointing out early. Which one of these guys are going to turn? It looks like Randy Orton started to get some of those tendencies back. Is old Randy Orton was in his head talking. He tries to grab a chair. He tries to unbutton the turnbuckle. In the end, that was his fall. Because Cody Rhodes reversed it, hit Randy Orton in the injured rib, and he falls victim to a crossroads. Cody wins. Did any of us really expect Cody to lose? And he tells the world he's going to come back for the ball. He's back being QB Cody. Now, again, this would be a nice ascension if we got to see a little bit of personality or depth from Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, after this dude became champion, and since then, we really didn't get much from him. The only thing we got to see from him is that people were rooting for him on the way up. Now he's at top. Everybody becomes a target. And you become the number one target. So now you have to look over your shoulder and decide, who are you going to trust? That's as far as we got with this dude. And then he lost the championship and then he kind of just disappeared and just came back and nothing happened. It's not like he had to go home and think about it. Like, okay, what am I gonna do? Is it gonna make me change? Should I have to change? Should I have to fight fire with fire? Should I have to fight dirty? No, I'm just gonna win and it is what it is. The only good thing again is that possibly this might mean something for Randy Orton. Instead of him kicking the head off of Cody Rhodes, instead of him slamming him with the chair, instead of him pushing Cody Rhodes clean through the turnbuckle, he paused. And that pause is what's inhibiting him from getting to the next world championship. He's probably not getting another one anyways because there's no way Triple H is going to let him pass him. We then got Racquel versus Rhea Ripley. And I ain't gonna lie, like, there's been some moments where the Saudi crowd was, like, turned. I'm interested to see what this is going to mean for the Women's Royal Rumble. Somebody said it's going to look like a Catwoman contest. Like, a bunch of women trying to masquerade as Catwoman. A little cosplay action. So, shout out to her doing these single matches and running around everywhere with these tag team championships who haven't been defended in I don't even know how long. Shout out to Rhea Ripley. She's super cool. I'm not mad at this match. I am mad at the way it's been presented. And to me, it just seemed like it just randomly came to fruition. They're really on a Night of Champions PLE fighting for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason. Like, there was a moment months ago where these two could have been fighting for purpose. Remember when they had a street fight with tables months ago on Raw? Where they were still kind of getting into it and Racquel was butting in Rhea's business and vice versa. Now, we just randomly get Rhea Ripley showing up, and this becomes a match. Don't know why. These women have years of history. We could have played to this. We could have made this way more of a spectacle. But I think it was like kind of a audible that got thrown out there since Liv Morgan was hurt. But at least we got to see Racquel doing something of importance and not running around like a scared woman, like he's not one of the biggest women on the roster. Roxanne did try to do something, but I mean, I don't even know what she was thinking. I will say that the riptide off the top turnbuckle was something to behold. Shout out to Rhea for that. So up until this point, if you were anybody expecting surprises, you weren't surprised. Except for this match. I don't think many of us expected this match to be held on a PLE. Shout out to Karrion Kross. This is like one of those, hi, bruh, matches, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Triple H was like, all right, bro. All right, man. I keep saying the internet doesn't matter. I keep saying the crowd is the only people that matter. And these people keep cheering for Karrion Kross. People keep buying his stuff. All right, bro. I'll let this dude get some TV time. So he finally got some TV time. And, hey, on the PLE, shout out to him. I do think it was an improper build-up. We had a few segments backstage where Sami was mentioned. I don't understand what the big deal is about Karrion Kross calling Sami a liar. Again, I think the problem is that we haven't truly built up Karrion Kross and really what he is looking to do on TV. Even though he has pointed out the inequivalencies in everybody's characters. A lot of these guys are just putting on face, saving face, and trying to present themselves in the best manner possible. But they're all after the same goal. So the people that we critique for being the bad guys are simply after the same goal as the good guys. They're just trying to get there by any means necessary. And these good guys do the exact same thing, truthfully, but we ignore it because we like to cheer for them. So I would argue that that is probably one of the strongest points that Karrion Kross has been able to make. And I agree with him. Sami Zayn is not a good guy. Now, if you thought Sami Zayn was going to lose in Saudi, you was out of your mind. Shout out to Karrion Kross. He is one of the guys I think that truly embodies being a heel. And if you look at like the way he wrestles, he's the type of guy who will taunt his opponent. He tries to run and escape out of the ring. He's going to talk smack. He's going to try to get his point across. And in his presentation as a whole is bad guy. As opposed to the rest of these people that we've seen. I mean, let's think about the other two matches. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Neither one of them was a good guy. I mean, none of them was a bad guy. We got Rhea Ripley and Roxanne. And Ms. Racquel. Raquel's not really a bad guy. She may have done some questionable things, but she's not really a bad guy. Because if we really look at it, a lot of the things that she's done has been in retaliation. Rhea Ripley is not a good guy in my eyes. She's a manipulator. A master manipulator. But anyways, Karrion Kross fights like an old man. I know he can truly fight, but like sometimes when he's like moving around the ring, I'm like, bro, he's an old man. Anyways, Sami Zayn wins, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what this means for the two of them going forward. A lot of people on the internet want Sami Zayn to win a championship, so we'll see what happens. We then, strangely enough, got Solo Sikoa matching up against Jacob Fatu. It was a match that a lot of people expected to happen a long time ago, and we finally got the build to this over the last couple weeks. Yeah. A lot of aura oozing out of Jacob Fatu. And we finally got these guys matching up. This means something. This is what I'm talking about, though, when I say rinse and repeat. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about redundancy. Did we not see this a long time ago? Was there possibly a guy who built up a bloodline and then had his right-hand man turn against him? And this led to them fighting for, championship. I just can't put my name on it. Anyways, one of the better feuds going into this PLE. One of the better builds. Honestly, the Samoans just been running things, and we know this. Jacob Fatu is incredible. He did some crazy bumps. These Uranagi slams to the edge of the mat as well as the outside of the ring. Crazy. These two are also just entertaining to watch. Solo with these funny taunts that he does. Some of his reactions to the moves. He's good. We did see the return of the infamous Tongaloa and Jason Mateo, who I still don't understand his purpose. I don't understand his reason. Anything like that. But they eat the dust after this crazy Jacob Fatu moonsault outside of the ring. And then after the shenanigans, we see the debut of this guy. And honestly, I can't even pronounce his name if I wanted to. But I didn't know he was the Tongan's brother. So that's unique. But again, this is something that we continue to see. Like, this is the easiest way to bring Samoan wrestlers into the WWE. Just have them as a part of the Bloodline storyline where they can show up and interfere in a match. This is literally how, like, almost every person has debuted. I mean, we got the two Tongans. My boy right here, Jason Mateo, Jacob Fatu, Solo. Like, this is literally how majority of these guys have debuted. Anyways, after all the shenanigans, Solo wins. And I'm not glad of this, bro. Like, I think that when you have a numbers game, you should just win. That's it. This could mean something. I think now we truthfully have a story that could really propel forward the United States Championship. One of my biggest gripes about the United States Championship is how it's been booked. It's been terrible. There's really nothing memorable over the last couple years, bro, of title holders, if you really had to think about it. A lot of y'all complain about Logan Paul, but at least got some notoriety to the public. But he only defended it like twice. LA Knight started defending it, but he didn't really get far because once he started to build up a couple feuds, he just immediately lost to Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke disappeared with the belt. And then LA Knight won it back, but at that point, it made no sense because then he just randomly gets back into the Bloodline Vortex and loses it immediately to Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu wins it, and he's still fighting against Braun Strowman, who then gets released. At the very least, at least Jacob Fatu has literally made enemies out of the Bloodline, and Solo Sikoa has beef with everybody in the SmackDown locker room. So this should be an instant home run, storyline-wise, because you can literally plug anybody into this, and you should be able to have a feud. Solo has beef with everybody. I'm not mad at this here. But this is like you had the Timu bloodline. This is like, I don't even know what this is. This is like you got varsity, JV. This is like the bench warmers, bro. We got Jade Cargill versus Asuka. I don't really want to talk about the match too much. Jade presentation is always amazing. Asuka's always entertaining to watch. This match wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but Jade does win. Again, I think another easy way for you to tell storylines because we still have Naomi looming over the corner, and this could mean something for Miss Tiffany Stratton or Io Sky. I think a lot of us were excited for what possibly could have been Asuka versus Io Sky in regards to the wrestling match, and this could have been an interesting callback to all the years that they've had fighting against one another, but we'll see. I know the internet glazers are going to say it. If Jade does not give Io Sky a good match, there's no hope for her. But at the end of the day, y'all love Jade and y'all love to watch her. That is just what it is. I think Jade has to just embrace a style, embrace who she is. I think she's trying to like dibble dabble in like so many things. She's trying to do a couple high flying things here and there. She wants to do the power thing here and there, but then she wants to be technical here and there. She really just be what you could be. It's fine. Like Nia Jax just a wrecking ball. I'm cool with that. That you just be like Miss Strong Lady and be wrecking ball. You don't have to be a Bianca Belair. But again, the presentation of Jade, as we look at her ascension, starts to look similar to Miss Bianca Belair. Anyways, the match a lot of people were excited for, CM Punk and John Cena. Not gonna lie, the last couple of promos I actually enjoyed. They were creative. When we talk about Cena's callback to CM Punk's pipe bomb and CM Punk's callback to Dr. Economics. Again, old men fighting. And honestly, this is like a side point that I have. WWE has done a terrible job, Mr. H, in regards to lifting up new superstars. There's plenty of new names in the roster, and we keep rehashing these old has-beens. Look, CM Punk was one of my favorite wrestlers. Blood ain't, you know what I'm saying? He washed up. This is like the end of the Kobe seasons for most of these guys. Like, let's use these opportunities for new guys. We don't have to keep bouncing the titles off of the same people. I'm not upset that you bringing some of these guys to the front that we enjoy, but it's at least interesting for us to see the ascension of some guys. And you could make some people major star players. Instead of having people like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Two guys that look like they were headed for the climb. At the very minimal, Braun Breaker looks like he was headed for the top. Now he's an attack dog. He doesn't even speak anymore. I don't even understand. I don't get it. Anyways, we get to this match. So this match was one of those again. Like, we just kept seeing kickouts. And it's again where I don't quite find the fun in the match, because if guys kick out every second, it's crazy. I mean, we've seen CM Punk kick out like 3 straight AAs in this match. But I'm not going to be too mad at it, because this is at least a nostalgia match. The guys have to use all their moves off. And then it gets to a point where we see a stalemate, and for some strange reason, Seth Rollins shows up. And he doesn't show up to do anything sensible, like, cash in when everybody's down. The guys are both standing up looking at him. The referee's still standing there. Again, it literally makes no sense that Seth Rollins has these dudes who are ridiculously dominant in their own right on his side. Why couldn't he just enter a triple threat match and outnumber everybody with these guys and just take the title? Because for some strange reason, the referee's incapacitated after a John Cena shoulder bump, and we see both Brawns get taken out by CM Punk. I don't even know what this means. But then they put him through a table, which should have given Seth Rollins the opportunity to take the championship. But instead, he thinks he's Roman Reigns, starts to aura farm, slowly taking off his jacket, and then he motions for a referee, and then Charles Robinson comes running on the walkway, but then just see it comes out of nowhere, it just bulldozes this fool. Then these guys argue in the middle of the ring. John Cena's like, I'm alive now. Didn't even know what you're talking about. John Cena has literally been there for everybody cashing in since the inception of the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't even understand what the heck he's mad about. You should at least expected somebody to try and cash in on you. Seth Rollins literally argues with this dude John Cena like he doesn't have like he literally has a numbers advantage. He gets put in dirt. We then see the Bronze jump this dude, which we should have seen from the beginning. And then for some strange reason, we see the interruptions of all interruptions. Sami Zayn shows up. Penta shows up. Why is Penta showing up? Remember when I told y'all the other week on Raw? When Seth Rollins was like, Penta, you need to stand out my business. Penta's like, no. What business was he ever in? This dude was just fighting for the Intercontinental Championship a couple weeks ago. And then trying to fight Braun for the Intercontinental Championship. What business is he in of yours? Why is he showing up trying to interrupt a Seth Rollins cash-in when CM Punk and John Cena are fighting? This is, again, I'm talking about. It's redundancy. It's like you're trying to spam this every opportunity you get an opportunity to do so. Doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm not going to argue the bloodline thing. At least it worked because Roman Reigns was just a despicable heel, and it seemed like he was willing to do anything to cheat, and at the very least, he was able to bring up all these guys that entered the bloodline. So all the guys that randomly showed up, they at least were fleshed out as a character. Shout out to Roman Reigns. And so now we've got who we've got. You brought people up. You're just bringing people out of the back randomly to show up and intercept matches makes no sense. Why should Seth Rollins? Why should he even take his time? Like, just cash in, bro. You have the numbers advantage. Why would Sami Zayn show up and try and fight? You're not helping CM Punk. And who are you to help CM Punk? You literally just arguing with him the other day. But I guess he just doesn't want Seth Rollins to win. And no idea why Penta shows up. Now, we get a thing where, like, CM Punk extends his hand and John Cena may possibly give him a fair fight. Nope, we see this look before. But he gets out of the way because Seth Rollins hits CM Punk with the briefcase. And then curb stomps him. And then John Cena sneaks that fool out of there and gets the 1, 2, 3. There was a moment in the match where he was going to hit CM Punk with the title. And he had to think about it for a second. Look at the crowd. It's like, well, should I? Should I not? Okay, he's possibly going to turn back. Sure, cool. Again, I don't know what is going on. I don't know why we should care about Seth Rollins and CM Punk for the 10th time. This is going to turn into Seth Rollins, you cost me, which he has the briefcase. He's going to cost anybody. That's what you go get the briefcase to do. Now I know this because this is how redundant things have been. We've seen WrestleMania 40. It was successful when you had all these people that interrupted the match. That at least at some sense had ties to some of the guys. We saw the bad guys, good guys show up. It was something in order to kind of switch over from this dominant heel to giving the face, the guy who'd been wanting to accomplish his dreams and finish his story, an opportunity. We're going to give him the fight by any means necessary. But if every PLE we ended with the match being interrupted by 50 people, it becomes redundant. I don't know. I don't even know how Solo can, like, sit at night happy with himself. When he turned on Roman Reigns, Jacob turned on him. I don't know why he would even think the guys under him would be loyal to him. And he still hasn't acknowledged Roman Reigns either. He still hasn't said anything about the Ulafala. I don't care anymore. We're just going to worry about the next video and see what happens on Raw.